In this room, some very important work is accomplished. At these workstations are skilled individuals who are the invisible lifeline to economic independence for thousands of customers. For millions of people, turning a check into real, accessible money in order to meet their daily financial needs is essential. It can also be a very real problem. Welcome to the only company in America that's solving this problem every 6 minutes of every day. Welcome to Chexar. Chexar's Smart Score system was born in 2001 as the core operating platform for the nation's leading Hispanic banking initiative, El Banco de Nuestra Comunidad. El Banco combined traditional retail banking, including FDIC-insured deposit products and innovative credit products, with non-traditional services, such as check cashing services for non-depositors. This heritage has empowered Chexar with unique capabilities. Today, we're the only company with over a decade of experience in approving all forms of checks and identity. Our success, growth, and track record are unequaled in our industry, and we have hundreds of employees serving thousands of retail, banking, and alternative financial services provider locations throughout the United States. Our client list is impressive. It includes banks, lenders, money transmitters, and retailers that serve an ever-growing number of customers known as the unbanked and underbanked. An unbanked customer has no relationship with a traditional bank. Currently, nearly 10% of all Americans are considered to be unbanked, and this trend is rising. An underbanked consumer has some kind of relationship with a traditional bank, but relies mainly on other financial service providers to meet their financial needs. Nearly 1/4 of consumers in America are underbanked.
It's the part of the population that is getting bigger and bigger and bigger that has decided living on credit is not smart, living beyond your means is not smart, and this whole concept of a provisional check, a check that they wrote, they thought they had money, they didn't, and the bank hits them with all these overdraft fees, where everything else now is a prepaid card, is an instant account, is a prepaid phone. They know exactly what they have. A check is not real money. A check is a promise to pay, and it's only as good as the guy that made the promise that you don't even know. With cash, you get a promise from the U.S. government that that's currency that you can tender. In the new world, everybody's prepaid. The entire concept of free checking's going away, and maybe the entire concept of the provisional deposit. And so Chexar is the one company in this country that is capable of taking every check that's out in the market, any kind, any type, any size, and turning it into the new world, the instant deposit.
These unbanked and underbanked consumers need a financial services provider that can handle all of their checks consistently, whether at brick-and-mortar locations, self-service kiosks, or on mobile devices. And this is where the Chexar process begins. When a customer begins converting a check to good funds with a client on the Chexar network, the scanned image enters our system. Through our automated process, Chexar scores the transaction. We use internal and external databases to validate the bank account, the customer, and the maker of the check. For the majority of transactions, an automatic approval is transmitted back to the teller or directly to the customer within seconds. Any transactions that cannot be automatically approved are transmitted to our risk centers for further evaluation. And that's where you come in. Only Chexar has trained risk specialists who apply established rules, training, and experience to allow Chexar to say yes when automated systems cannot. This means that you are Chexar's competitive advantage in converting a check into real cash for the customer. The impact of your work cannot be understated.
The Risk Center is really the secret sauce of Chexar. We talk about our system and our rules, but without the Risk Center, we could not get to 95% approval rates. We could not do that and maintain the low fraud levels that we're able to maintain. And more than that, what the risk specialist really does is help us get better. because they see everything that's on the fringe, and most of the improvements that we've made to Chexar start on the floor of the risk center. The people on the floor who see what's happening day to day out there are the ones who escalate to management the things that we come up with to improve the system, the ideas that improve the system. So I believe the risk specialists are the core to the whole company.
We give consumers access to good funds, and we do so with a level of professional service that is sensitive and thorough. This creates a happy customer, who in turn is likely to become a loyal customer.
Everyone's looking for that place that they feel comfortable, in particular running a financial transaction through. I mean, this is very core to individuals. And so when that individual comes in to do that transaction, they're building a relationship with that client, and we're part of building that relationship for the person. And our ability to complete that transaction with them, to let them know that we understand them and we trust them, really leads to retention and their ability to come back the next time. And maybe it'll never be seen in the risk center. Maybe our system knows enough now to say yes immediately to them. That's kind of what we're creating. Everything that the specialists are doing are making the system smarter so that the consumer can get a better and better experience when they go through their transaction.
As you can see, your job is critical to Chexar's success and that of our clients. And your skilled work will impact the lives of many people. When you're able to confidently say yes to a transaction, you're turning checks into real, accessible money for people who depend on these funds to meet financial obligations every day. Welcome to Chexar. You have a place here.